Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to share with you the process of the residency confirmation that we'll be going through over the next few months with you today. We know that, that when there's a new process, there's always some questions. So we want to be able to provide you with all of the information. The biggest takeaway that I want you to have from today is you do not need to do anything unless we contact you. So I know there were a few questions in my inbox over the last few weeks. Please hold tight because our first part we're doing on our end, and you may need to do nothing over the next few months. So let's get started. So just a little bit about what a residency verification or confirmation is. We're initiating this process for all 8th grade students who are currently enrolled in the 8th grade going to the 9th grade next year. It ensures that enrolled students reside within our district boundaries of South Orange and Maplewood. And the process is going to begin with an electronic review of the records we have, followed by family outreach if any documentation is needed. Again, there will be many families that we might need no additional documentation. And so that's why I want everyone to hold tight, and we will let you know that either way. So first, the why. So when we do a residency confirmation, we're able to plan. We do a lot of planning in the beginning of the year, or actually we've already started planning over the last few months for your children next year, which we're so excited for. And we want to make sure that we have accurate numbers of students to make sure we're maintaining appropriate class sizes. We're planning for transportation, effectively routing those transportation routes, allocating teachers and staff resources, ensuring an accurate budget, which is so super important in education, and providing educational materials and supplies for the classrooms and facility use. All of this depends on how many students are enrolled and to make sure that every student that's enrolled is within the district. So the first part of this process is going to be an electronic review from our end. And we're going to review all the records we have and identify any families that we need additional information for. What we're going to do is we're then going to let families know. You might get a letter that says, you are good to go and we verified your address and there is no additional information that you'll need. Or you might get a letter that says, we need you to update your information. And either way, you will be getting notification. Once you get a letter, if that letter asks for you to give additional information, we just ask you to do that. We'll ask you to bring it to the board office or send it into the board office, and we'll have a list of items that you'll need to provide for us. Okay, we ask that you do that. There'll be a time frame that you do it, and then we can update all that information. If you have any questions during this process, we ask you to reach out to the registration office via email. They're happy to answer questions. Now, at some point, you may have moved. So some of you have been in the district since your students were little pre-K 3s, and can you believe it? Now they're going into 9th grade. You may have moved houses within the district. And at that point, you may have thought, oh, I'm still in district. I don't need to update anything, but we need to make sure we have your current address for in case of emergencies, or we send out snail mail occasionally for testing documentation and things like that. So at this point, we definitely want you to update your address. You can always do that by emailing registration. They can point you in that direction of what you need to have. Okay. We want to make sure that you understand this information will only be used for the re-registration process. Your information remains confidential within the district. It maintains secure protocols to protect personal data, and uses it only for this process. Okay, it's never shared with external agencies or organization, and of course your privacy is very important to us. Okay, if we're unable to verify your address, um, as per policy 5111, you might be required to provide additional documentation. We might need to conduct a follow-up inquiry if necessary, just to make sure that we have all the information necessary. So if you're living in another town, we want to make sure that you're connected with that school district. So you'll be eligible to attend whatever town you live in. New Jersey makes you eligible for that town's school system. So we will help facilitate that transition. So we can forward your child's school records. We can connect you with the registrar over there, so that we can make sure you have a smooth transition. And we are happy to help in that way. And just make sure that your child has the best start when they go to their new school. If that is the case and you need to withdraw, what you can do is you can go to the main office of your child's school, either middle school, and they'll have a form called a withdrawal form. You see it here. And we will date it for the last day of 8th grade graduation, okay? So that the child can remain here until they graduate 8th grade. And you'll just provide the address of your child's new school and sign the authorization. And once that is signed, we can help transfer all the records to your child's new school, and we'll give you a copy for your records as well. So again, we want to just make sure that you know that this is private information. We will not ask for any immigration status documents. All of this information remains confidential. It is only for the purpose of residency. It will not be given to any outside agencies. And we are committed. There is a family privacy rights law that we are bound to abide by. So we will not be giving this. And please, you do not have to send us any immigration documentation at all for any of the registration process. So please know that on our website, we have a registration microsite on there. You can find all of the information on what information you might need for registration, for updating your address. And the team is welcome to receive emails. Please email them with any questions on this process. But for now, remember, there is nothing for you to do. So next steps, we are reviewing the records this month over the next 2 weeks. If any documentation is requested, we will send that to you in April, mid-April, I would say. And then we will complete that process by May, the end of May. And like I said, there is nothing at this point for you to do, but we will be sending out letters over the next 2 weeks. The letter will either say, we're good, you're good to go, or we need a little bit more additional information. And what that information is going to look like is copies of either lease or mortgage and current bills and things like that. So again, please don't send that to us now. Most people will not need to go through that process because our internal review will be enough. But if we have questions or need additional information, we will definitely reach out to you. Okay. So that is the basic information. I'm going to stop sharing and see if there are any questions. Anyone else want to add anything? I think we're good.
For us, everyone, this will be a process we probably do every few years. It's a best practice that every district around us engages in. I think the last time South Orange Maplewood School District did it was about 10 years ago. So our plan is about every 3 years, just to ensure, as Kerry noted, one, that we stay up to date on very important information, contact information, and two, it's also important during these tight fiscal times that we ensure all resources are being utilized appropriately. So again, we're probably looking at every 3 years to conduct this exercise.
And there is a question if the recording will be online. And Ishaya, I believe we talked about that we recorded the last session as well, and we can post that on the website.
Absolutely. This should be a fairly fast one. So right now, especially for transparency, I like looking at our attendance count. We're just about 15 eighth grade family members on right now. So just to make sure that this is going to as many families as possible so they're aware, this will be shared as soon as we can.
Okay, that is the only question I see. Oh,
You text or email the link to the site, which I believe is that the registrations homepage? Yeah, we definitely can as well.
and again, the big takeaway is do nothing right now. We're in our process on the back end, so nothing you have to do currently.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate you taking your time. And as Ashaya noted, we'll be posting this, so it'll be available. Any questions, obviously feel free to reach out. But again, thank you for taking your time to attend.
Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much. Have a wonderful day.